Hello, soul travelers. Welcome back to my channel where I share information that I have obtained as well as my experiences to help you on your spiritual journey as I continue to grow my own. Today I'm going to be talking about how to work with the energy of numbers. Now, if you remember previously, I did a video on breaking down the energy of all the numbers. Okay. And I told you guys how to break down numbers, how to turn any number into one digit, and then I explained all the energies of the different numbers and how to apply it to those single digits of the numbers 1 through 9. Now, if you don't understand how that works, you can go and watch my video on numerology. I'll leave the link in the description box below. You may even want to go watch it and come back and watch this so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. So, let's jump right in. Today, I want to talk about by knowing the energy of each day, even the month, even the year, you can learn how to work with this energy, okay? And even kind of what day or month or year to expect. You can kind of predict the energies and also, know when is a good time to be doing a certain thing. For example, when you break down the year 2021, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 5. Okay, and I talked about my last video how 5, you guys know, is the energy of chaos and the energy of great and unexpected change. So I feel like you can already look at the year 2021 and you can see that that's kind of happening everywhere. And when we think of chaos, we think of it as bad, but in this instance, like chaos, it has to break things down so it can build something back up. You can see it in politics. You can see the way that's changing with Kamala Harris in office. You can see the way a lot of people are waking up on this planet. Like a lot of people are starting to question their religion. They're starting to wake up. You can even see it in the weather. Hell, we got snow and ice storms in Texas right now. Okay, if you see what I'm saying, 2020 was a number 4 year. Now we know that number 4 is the energy of laying foundations, of the energy of putting in work, right? And with the coronavirus, a lot of people were forced into their homes, forced to start sitting down with themselves and forced to kind of have spiritual awakening. This is a lot of how people came to the spiritual awakening because they're forced to sit and think. So when we think work, we're not just talking about working with our hands, we're talking about working internally too. So yeah, a lot of people started their spiritual journey, and a lot of people started preparing like for the change in energy that was about to come up on the earth, which just did when we had the age of Aquarius come up on us. So that's another way that we can see that number 5 energy in 2021 is that we left the age of Pisces and came to the age of Aquarius. So this whole year, we can expect a lot of fast, accelerated change because the energy of Aquarius is accelerated, it's expansion, it's freedom, it's all of that. And all of us can expect a lot of change in our lives and on our planet and in our country, all around. It's going to pretty much happen quickly. So, like I said earlier, Texas, a hot ass state, having ice storms and snow. It's just one example. But there's just so much also going on, like in the collective consciousness period, as many people are just like questioning religion, like I said a minute ago, and waking up to spirituality. So what I really want to focus on today, though, is how we can work with the energy of the days. I want to talk about how we work in this energy, because I didn't show you guys in that previous video I did how you find the energy of the day, but I want to talk about how this like applies, okay? So, the days, again, just a reminder, the days go in cycles of 1 through 9. And if you break down each date, concluding the month, day, and year, and reduce it to one number, you can see how this pattern goes. I believe weeks, or the period that we call a week, instead of 7 days, I really believe it should be 9 because we live our lives in 9-day cycles. And, so I want you guys to just know how real and how important this is for you. So let me just tell you about some of the days in my most recent cycle. We're on day 7 in this cycle. So I'm going to talk about a few of those days. So earlier this week, I was doing a lot of shadow work. It came to me like I need to do some shadow work. I need to do some journaling, just like some inner work. I also was like, okay, I need to work on my short story that I'm writing because I'm going to be entering like a writing competition for that. I was like, oh, let me get some studying done on tarot. Like it was just, I was just feeling the energy of getting shit done, like putting in work and stuff. And toward the end of the night, I then realized it was a number 4 day. So, like I talked about before, number 4 is the energy of laying a foundation, the energy of putting in work. So you see, like I was in this energy without even realizing it. But like the thing is, if you look at the energy, then you before you start, sometimes before you start doing something, you kind of plan, to do a certain thing on that day, but you won't always be able to be planned. Sometimes you're just in that energy without even knowing. Um, and then earlier this week, which I think was the day after that, I remember I made a video. Some of you may have seen it, where I was just having a breakdown. I mean, a total breakdown. I was going on in my head about what's right and what's wrong. I had been like that for a couple of weeks, and I just had a breakdown that night. And then I received like a message from Spirit, a sign, and everything, and it settled me. And I realized that I was going through a transformation. So if you watch that video, you know what I'm talking about. And so, like I said, this was the day after that number 4 day. This was a number 5 day. I looked at the energy, it was number 5. So the day of chaos, transformation, change, all of that. Let's see, and then today is a number 7 day. And today, me and my husband and I, we had to take his father to a doctor's appointment, and we had errands to run, and it was rainy and everything. And the whole day was just like we couldn't get the day to move. It was like pushing up against a brick wall, like going up uphill mountain. It's just like this day would not move smoothly. Everything was just like really slow and difficult. Like we had a bunch of pit stops, we had a bunch of unexpected stops, and all this stuff. And doctor took forever. Okay. Now we know this number 7 day is the spiritual day. Okay. It's a day for meditation. It's a day for getting in touch with spirit, just for really like going inside and just like stepping away from the rest of the world, right? Rest day. Now, let me blow your mind a little bit. In the Bible, I'm not a Christian, but I still refer to the Bible, and you can find a lot of knowledge there, and you can find a lot of like confirmations there, in my opinion. In the Bible, though, they say God created the world or whatever, if you believe that. But then they say on the 7th day, he rested. Now, Jews, they have their Sabbath day on Saturday because they look at Sunday as the first day of the week. And if you look at our calendar, the Gregorian calendar, it actually has the first day as Sunday. So I don't know why Christians celebrate the 7th Sunday as the 7th day. But either way, whether it's Saturday for Jews or whether it's Sunday for Christians, a lot of religions look at the 7th day as the day of rest. Okay? And like I said, the Bible says that. And in numerology, 7 is the day of rest. It is the day of spiritual, things to go inside and like rest and meditate and things like that. So I was just really excited when I realized that today as I was thinking about that. That's actually kind of what inspired me to make this video. So you guys, you see how this applies. Like this is real. This like whether you call yourself being spiritual in spirituality or you call yourself a Christian or whatever, you really can't deny that this stuff really applies. And as I said before, like my cycles are 9 days. I look at them as 9 days. So just start adding up the number of the day. Start on a day 1 day. Let's see, like tomorrow's a number 8 day, which makes Saturday a number 9 day. Okay, so Sunday. On Sunday, it'll be a number 1 day. So just, add up the numbers so you can see it for yourself. You add up the number of the month, the day, and the year, and you keep adding it up and reducing it until you get one number. Okay? So start on a number 1 day and write about the events of your day or what you did that day and how, whatever, how you were feeling that day, all of that. And do it for those 9 days. And when you finish, I want you to compare it to the energy of those numbers. If you have to, go watch my video so you can get a refresher course on the energy of each number 1 through 9. Or you can even look up the energy of each number individually on Google, whatever. Compare it to those things you wrote down or whatever, and see how what you did or what you were thinking or feeling those days matches up with the energy of each number. Okay? Just do it for yourself as an experiment so you can see what I'm talking about. And you can also just look at the overall energy, guys, of the month. Like February is a 2 month. So the whole month, a lot of you probably, because I know I have constantly feel like you're balancing and feeling a dual energy of some kind, a lot of back and forth, strange combinations of feelings. Like, for me, I've been feeling like this burst of energy to get stuff done, and then I'll be like relaxing. I mean, this happens day in and day out this whole month, like all day. It's like, oh, I got a lot of energy to do something done. Then it's like, oh, I'm gonna rest. So it's just like that back and forth, because 2 is the number of duality, okay, and it's the number of balance, like scales, okay. And this just applies in so many ways, guys. Another example, remember that number 5 is the number of chaos and unexpected change, right? Okay, so if you take the date 9/11 in 2001 and break it down the way that I told you, you add up the month, the day, the year, and continue to add it up, the numbers that they're, the answer that you get, and take that and break it down and add it up, then you're going to get the number 5. That whole date equals up to the number 5. And y'all know what happened on 9/11. Chaos and change. It changed our country forever, right? Another thing that came to me today was like, April showers bring May flowers, right? Well, April is the 4th month. So Mother Nature herself is doing her work to bring in the flowers the next month in May. I just thought that was cute. Anyways, you know, March is known for being windy. Number 3 is the number of freedom of expression. And the wind is free and expresses itself and it does whatever it wants, right? And March is the 3rd month. So, you know, that's just a couple other examples that I could give you. Pregnancy, 9 months long, right? Beginning of a cycle, you have a full life at the end of 9 months. So anyway, there's like just many different ways to work with energies, and you can even track the moon cycles, because the moon moves through a different sign of the zodiac every couple of days. It starts at Aries, it goes from Aries to Taurus, right? Am I saying? Yes, to Taurus, and then to Gemini, and so on. But every couple of days, it changes signs. And so every time the moon is in a different sign, we have a different energy for those 2 or 3 days. And speaking of the moon, if you guys notice, when there's a new moon, there's no moon. New moon, no moon. See how that sounds alike? What I mean is, when there's a new moon, you can't see the moon. Okay, so if we look at that number as 0, now 0 in numerology is between 9, the end of the cycle, and 1, the beginning of the cycle. It's the no space, right? The blank slate. So if you look at that first day of the moon as 0, and then you add 27 more days, you have a 28-day moon cycle, which is how long moon cycles are. And if you were to take that 27 and divide it by 3, what do you have? 9, a multiple of 9, right? Which is 9 is completion. I hope you guys are following me. But anyway, as you can learn how to work with moon cycles. It's, you know, numbers is not the only way to work with energies, but it is one of my favorite ways. Because I can add it up and I can see it and, you know, apply it. You know, even in tarot cards, it works off the energy. It works off of numerology. It's actually a lot of basis in numerology. The Fool card, which is the first card of the deck, is numbered 0, and the Fool card represents the unknown, taking the leap of faith, knowing nothing, just rolling with it, not knowing anything. Okay. The second card is the High Priestess. The High Priestess in the tarot deck, is she represents a guardian between the physical and the seen, and the spiritual and the unseen, which is the number 2, the dual number, the number of duality and balance. And so she's a guardian between the 2 worlds, basically. Okay, so I'm just giving you a few examples so you can see how this stuff applies. And you could also apply it to numbers of Bible verses. I'm not a Christian, but still, like I said, even I refer to certain verses, and I actually decode them, because a lot of the Bible verses don't mean exactly what you think they mean. And I may do another video on that today, different day. Not going to go into it right now, but just example I'll give you. Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he's old, he'll return to it, or he'll however it goes. Y'all know how it goes. Okay, so speaking of that verse doesn't mean exactly what you think it means either, but I'm not going to talk about that today, like I said. Anyways, that Bible verse is numbered Proverbs 22:6. Now, in numerology, 22 is the master builder number. Now, you're talking about training up a child, right? So 22 is literally building your child up into who they're going to be. Yes? Okay, the number 6 is, I talked about before, is I like to call it the family number, because it's all about harmony and having harmony with those around you, which we're talking about your child, right? So y'all see how these numbers apply everywhere. Like the powers that be, or whoever, you know, the old people that control the world, or the people that made the world, or however you want to look at it, they know this stuff. It's not a coincidence. I mean, these numbers applies to the energies of the universe long before man even came about, before math was a science, and that's how they know this stuff. Anyways, you can pretty much apply the energy of numbers to anything to understand the energy of something, and how to work with it. Because remember, we always want to work in the energy and not against the energy. Hence, like today, when I'm sitting there trying to get stuff done, and it's a spiritual day when I'm supposed to be sitting down resting and meditating and everything. That's why today was so difficult, you know. And as soon as everything was done and I sat down to rest and just be, I was fine. All right. Probably should have did that shit on a number 4 day, but we can't always control everything, can we? So anyway, guys, this video is not going to be that long. I just want to talk to y'all a little bit and expand on that, like how you work with the energy of the numbers. And like I said, I'll leave the link to that other numerology video I did, where I really break down the energies and show you physically how to break down the numbers and everything. So as usual, my email is going to be in the description box below, and you can click that link to watch that video. Also, you can email me or click on my Facebook link that will be in the description box below if you're interested in a tarot card reading, or if you have any other questions. All right, guys. So, soul travelers, that's all I have for you today. See you at the next stop.